Hi guys, welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On this channel, we focus on everything early childhood related. If these are the kind of videos you're looking forward, you have to do subscribe, and not just subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, you'll be the first person to be notified. Today, I'm going to be going through some interview questions you're likely to be asked if you're going for a preschool teacher position, a kindergarten teacher position, or an early childhood educator teacher position. Yes, this is the season of job interviews. Don't worry, this video is for you. I'm going to be going through some questions you're likely to be asked at the job interview. First, I would like to say congratulations for being called for the job interview. It's a privilege. You need to understand that a lot of people had applied for the job and you are called for the interview. And you need to understand that being called for an interview is an avenue for you to sell yourself, to show forth yourself to your potential employers, to let them know the skills that you have, to let them know that you are the best candidate for this job. So please take note of all the questions that I'm going to be going through. The first question you're going to be asked is, tell me about yourself. Most employers start by asking this question, tell me about yourself. So they want you to tell them about yourself, who you are. You might be wondering, yes, they should know who you are. They got your CV, your name is on it. Yes, they know your name, but they want to know more about you. So this is a probing question in relation to getting to know who you are. So in relation to telling them about yourselves, it's important that you relate this to the job that you've applied for. For instance, if you apply for an early childhood educator position, so tell them about the experiences that you have. So tell them about all your experience that relate to this job position. So you start by introducing yourself. My name is Florence Ajala. For the last 5 years or 10 years, I've been working with young children ranging from birth to the age of 6. Last 2 years, I worked in a preschool setting that is a play-based, but about all the experience that you have in relation to the job. So this relates to tell me about yourself. So don't waffle around telling them about what's not important. I know sometimes some people will say, oh, you're being asked the question, tell me about yourself so I can tell them anything they want to know about me. You need to understand that in relation to this job, you need to act like a professional. So in relation to telling them about yourself, let it be professional. They don't want to know all your family histories. They're not interested. So, but when you're talking about yourself, tell them all the experience that you have that relates to get a job that you've applied for, which is a preschool teacher. So please take note of the first question that you're going to be asked at a preschool teacher job interview. Another question you're likely to be asked is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Yes, this is a question that you're not going to be missed. They're going to ask you, tell us about your strengths, tell us about your weaknesses. This is important because your potential employer wants to know the strengths that you have. They want to know what you're bringing to the job in relation to your strength and also your weaknesses as well. So in relation to your weaknesses, do not shy away about your weaknesses. I know sometimes some people might like, oh, I have my weakness. I don't want them to know about it. It's important that you talk about your weakness, but you have to just present it in a way that yes, it's your weakness, but you're working on it. So for instance, in relation to your strength, relate it to the job as well that you've applied for. So tell them you're calm, you have a non-judgmental approach, you're patient. All of this is important. You have good writing skills, you have excellent writing skills, excellent communication skills. All of this is important in relation to the job that you've applied for. So don't talk about the strengths that doesn't relate to the job that you've applied for. So tell them all the strengths that you have. You love working with young children. You're a very calm person. You're patient. You have empathy. You have non-judgmental approach. You're caring. So you can see that all of this relates to the job that you've applied for. So in relation to your weaknesses as well, talk about your weakness. One of your weaknesses could be getting tasks. You find it difficult to delegate tasks. So you could talk about one of my weaknesses is delegating tasks. But however, I'm working on this. So you can see that you've identified your weaknesses. So it's important if you're being asked to talk about your strengths and weaknesses, don't say, well, I have no weaknesses. Like, you need to understand that nobody is perfect. We have our weaknesses that we're working on. So please take note of this question. Do you want to work with young children? Yes, this question they are going to ask you. They want to know, why not primary school? Why not secondary school? Why not university? Why young children? Why early childhood? And it's important. Don't just talk about, well, I love to work with young children. I've seen people answer this question in such a way that, well, I love to work with young children. Yes, you love to work with young children, but we need to know more. So tell them you're passionate about working with young children. You just develop passion for working with young children. You love to promote the holistic development of the young child. You love to plan activities for young children. It might have been the experience that you had in the past make you to love working in the area. You can say, for instance, when you were a teenager, you babysat your nephews, your cousins, and since then, you just develop interest in relation to working with young children. So you can see that it's much more than, well, I just love working with young children. Well, you need to know everybody loves working with young children. But what is that thing that sets you aside? Why do you love working with young children? So you need to think about it in relation to ask question. Move away from saying, well, I just love working with young children. So please take note of this question as well. All right. Question you're likely to be asked is, why do you want to work with us? Yes, they want to know, why not the crèche down the road? Why not the preschool down the road? Why is it their preschool that you've had? This requires you to think deeply. This requires you making research about the preschool setting. So look up their name online, like everything is on social media now. So have a bit history about them, look it up. And then if they ask you, why do you want to work with us? You might say, well, you want to work with them because they're a based setting, because they ensure quality in relation to promoting the holistic of the young child. Well, you see that you're giving a good reason. You're not just saying, well, I love to work with you because you're just down the road from where I live. It's going to take me 5 minutes or 2 minutes, so that's why I've applied. Move beyond that. So tell them, are they play-based? Are they Montessori? Are they outdoor setting? What is that thing that you'd like you to apply for the position? So talk about their setting. You could also talk about their curriculum as well. So you could also talk about their environment, that you love the environment is conducive for young children. The staffs are warm, they're approachable, and that's why you decided to work. So you can see that you have a good reason for saying why you want to work with them. Question you're likely to be asked is, why should we hire you? Yes, you need to understand that you're not the only person that applied for this job. Like I said, it might be 10 people that are being called for the interview and they're only selecting one. So you need to let them know that you are that one person. So why should they hire you? So tell them about, you're very good in relation to planning for children's play. You're very good in relation to observing young children, dealing with parents. All of these are good examples. So you could also talk about the jobs that you've had in the past. So for instance, for the past 5 years, I've been a room leader in the preschool that I worked with. I've been for children's play. I've been a team leader. I've been in charge. I've been liaising with the parents. I've been bringing the children out on trips. So you can see that all of this makes you to be the best candidate from the. So you're telling them what skills you have. You've planning for children's play, relating with people, working as a member of a team. So these are the skills that you need to talk about that gives you an edge over other candidates. So please take note of this question as well. All right. You're likely to be asked is, tell us about your pedagogical strategy. So here they are asking for your teaching style. So how are you going to teach young children? So you could talk about the way you're going to position yourself, the room layout, how you're going to listen to the children, scaffolding, positive reinforcement. So all of this, they want to know that if they hire you for this job, okay, what are the pedagogical strategies that you're going to be using? Are you going to be using more of visuals? Are you going to be asking? So all of this, they want to know about your pedagogical strategy. So you yourself, you need to list out your pedagogical strategy and talk about this in the interview. Cycles of how you've used this in the interview. As you could talk about, okay, in relation to listening. So talk about in your job, you listen to the children. How do you listen to the children? By taking into consideration their needs, their interests, by asking them questions, open-ended questions, maintaining eye contact with the children when you're talking to them. So you can see that you're giving examples of the pedagogical strategies that you have to use when you get the job. And I tell you, this will give you an edge over other candidates. And lastly, when you're likely to be asked is your understanding of legislations and policies. Yes, they are going to ask you about your understanding in relation to legislations and policies on health and safety, promoting the holistic development of the young child, working with young children, planning for children's play. So they are going to be asking you questions in relation to policies and legislation. They need the understanding that you have. And you need to understand that early childhood is being driven by policies. Policies are the ones telling us what to do. And your potential employer wants to know whether whether you have an understanding in relation to legislation or policies. So it's important in the country that you're based, have awareness in relation to the policies and legislation, so that when you're being asked at a job interview, you would know how to answer this question. And lastly, the question another going to be asked is, to end the interview question, they would always ask you the question of any question for us. Don't shy away from asking them questions. You could ask them questions such as, are there trainees? When are you going to hear when you're successful? How many staff do they have? How many people are in the room that you're going to be working with? So look for a question. Think about the question you're going to, don't just say, well, I don't have any question for you. So you could ask them about, okay, in relation to, you could ask them, about the staff. So look for a question that you're going to ask them. I hope you've taken note of all these questions. These are the questions that you're going to be asked at the teacher job interview. And if you're being this video, afterward you're being successful, please come back and leave a comment below so I can rejoice with you in relation to getting your dream job. Until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.